Hello.
Welcome.
Hello and welcome.
Greetings.
Good job on that one, Dillon.
Excellent.
Well,
Welcome.
welcome to the podcast. Today we are joined by Dillon De La Fuente, in addition to Luke Ashley, Gage Nichols, and this is Christian Champion. And I'm Grady Owens.
That you are.
Dillon, he's a local, but he's a hilarious dude. Dude, your
Yikes.
live streams are great.
Thank you. Yeah.
I got to join you on one. I was so happy I wasn't worthy.
No, yeah. The live streams are a lot of fun on Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a little bit of a Instagram famous.
I've never seen one.
Well,
so
you know.
I'm not a stan. I'm not a Dillon stan. So
That doesn't
Wow.
make sense to me.
Well, I mean,
Maybe she'll turn
now,
and
now
go
I
watch
will
after
be.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I know.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly. It's what I was saying earlier. Word of mouth travels far.
yeah.
Especially in this town.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it travels really fast.
What's the most viewers you've had on on an Instagram live?
You know,
He's
a
like
million.
7.
A million? 2 million?
2 million.
He's like
Wow.
7. Yeah.
Wow, dude,
One
you're
or
up
two.
there with Kanye now.
He's like nearly
Yeah.
the entire population of this town. So
Yeah. Well, you know, what can I say? I'm a little bit of a household name around here.
Yeah, that's an achievement.
Yeah. No, actually, they'll
And what
probably
was your name again?
That's the face of Blanca right there.
probably like 7 or 17.
Oh my
somewhere
god,
in
I
that
literally
range.
said 7. Is that why?
Did you really?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Really? No.
actually crazy.
It was not 7. Because the
No.
time I went on, what's the most you've seen, you think?
Like probably like I want to say like 26. It wasn't. It's not like a lot, but for me it was like
for an
just fun to
Instagram
do.
live
Yeah.
in this town, I mean, that's great. That means you've got half the people that matter.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So
Nearly.
Yeah, almost. Well, we have a couple topics also that we've jotted down that we just kind of wanted to go over with you.
oh dear.
And
Oh, I'm so scared. I'm actually frightened for my life.
I was kind of thinking about things that are relevant and also things that would be just absolutely hilarious to listen to you talk about.
Right.
So, have you seen Tiger King?
I have not, but I really want to because all the memes I just don't get, and I really need to watch it just because.
You need to watch Tiger King. It's awesome.
What exactly is it about? Like, what's the big idea?
It's this guy in Oklahoma.
Tiger Man.
Joe Exotic.
Joe
specifically.
Exotic, who
Okay.
you've definitely seen the
Yeah.
memes of.
No, yeah.
Him and Carol Baskin, and like he runs, like a kind of roadside zoo in Oklahoma, and he
Okay.
has like 200 and something tigers there,
Oh,
and
wow.
So really, it's not a zoo. It's just like
a tiger
it's
exhibit.
tiger.
Oh,
They
okay.
have some
Yeah.
like primates there and some other stuff, but it's mainly tigers, and he's
And
this like
lions and bears.
super.
Oh my.
He's like a complete character, but he's got like 2 husbands and he's gay, and
And
he
his
just lives
husbands
this.
are straight though.
You'll find out later. Spoiler alert, I guess.
Oh yeah, sorry about that. Sorry, I actually didn't know that because
This
I
video
didn't
will
watch it.
contain spoilers about Tiger King.
Well, see, I haven't watched the whole thing. I watched like maybe 3 episodes at 2 a.m. at your house, and I found out that he was like, I read this whole paragraph. It was like, if you were like here like 30 years ago and someone told you in 2020 that the whole world would be addicted to a show about a gay tiger breeder who was married to straight men, what would you say? And I was like, what? I had no
Sounds
idea
like
what it was
Corona.
Yeah.
No, well, that
Corona
was
totally helped
listed
this out,
in the
but
paragraph. I was
I'm
just
so
not going
happy.
to recite the whole thing.
No, you should totally look into it because on the news the other day, Trump talked about pardoning him from
Really?
because he's in jail now.
Okay.
For stuff he did that you kind of find out in the series, but he, like during one of the coronavirus task force briefings, a reporter asked him if he would pardon Joe Exotic.
Really?
And he talked about it. He entertained the idea, I guess.
Man.
But that's where we're at right now, folks.
That's where we're at in this country.
Yeah,
Oh, jeez.
How
How did he get a hold of the tigers?
he breeded
He
them.
found them? Oh.
Yeah, he
He
bred
bred.
them.
He bred them, not breeded.
Breeded.
Yeah,
He breeded them.
he breeds.
That's crazy.
He made the tiger.
But
So you just bought like 2, and then
That's a way to start, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably
Did he just
male
have-
and female specifically.
I thought it was 2.
2 males.
Same.
Yeah.
Oh, because
Like frogs, you know? Like what's that? Like African bullfrog that changes its
Is it like asexual?
something like that. Yeah, they
I
talked
don't-
about it in Jurassic Park. Do you know what I'm
Oh
talking
my
about?
gosh, yeah.
Yeah. So
Uh,
that's what the raptors did.
Where
Spoiler
is this
alert.
And no,
going?
and Carol Baskin, hold up. Carol Baskin
Okay.
runs because there's all the memes about Joe Exotic and Carol Baskin, like you see them both.
Yeah.
And she runs this thing called the Big Cat Rescue in Florida, and she does the same thing that Joe Exotic does. But she's like on PETA's side of everything, and Joe's kind of against PETA.
Oh, okay.
And so like they do the same thing,
She's
but they're
on
just
PETA's side. Is
yeah.
anyone who does shit like that like really on PETA's side? I'm sorry.
That's what I'm
But
saying.
like really,
Yeah.
excuse my French.
That's my that's kind of how I feel about it. It's like it's kind of a pointless debate. That's why
Yeah.
she becomes the villain in social media.
Oh, okay. No,
why
I thought they
people
were.
hate-
I thought the way I perceived it is that they were married, and that she was like trying to kill him for like insurance or something.
Yeah.
But
Oh, you
clearly
silly
I am-
fool.
That's
What's
what
that?
I thought
You
at
silly
first too
fool.
before I watched it, which was like that's just what made sense to me. I
Yeah.
thought that they were like usually when you think of like murder for hire and you hear about that, you're like, oh, they must have been like married or something.
Yeah.
There must have been money involved. That's
Yeah.
what I thought.
I feel like if I were married, I would not hire someone else to do it.
Gage, you want to weigh in?
I don't think I'm legally obliged to, man.
Have you seen Tiger King?
No.
Come on, join the cult, man.
Oh, jeez.
I've only seen like the last like. 4
I'm sorry. Can we go
episodes.
back? You said if you were married, you wouldn't hire someone else. So like you'd be.
Well, I mean, like, why involve another person? I feel like you're putting yourself more at risk at that point.
You'd have to really want to do it.
Yeah.
I think we're just very quickly skimming over the fact that you were just immediately okay with killing your significant other. Like there was not a there was
Well,
no
see,
thought process to that.
No, well, when I think of this, I think of like, what is that movie? This is 40. Whenever they talk about it, like, how would you kill me? And like they both have like thought it out. I'm like, I feel like that's what marriage is, you know? My mom talks about it sometimes.
This got really dark really quickly.
I don't even. I genuinely
If
don't
my
even know how to
father goes
reply to
missing,
that.
we all know. But, you know.
Okay,
Right.
well, at least it was documented, right?
Right? Yeah, public knowledge.
Heard it
Yeah.
here first, folks.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, moving
on,
right
dude.
along,
Next topic.
Gage and I have been seeing videos. We saw videos of a
African
dude.
airplanes.
Yeah. So we saw videos of dudes riding those like air trikes or what are they called again?
Paramotors.
Paramotors. Dudes who have parachutes and like a motor strapped to their back and they
okay.
fly around.
Dude, it's sick as There was. That was the one. That was the one.
He says
that's
a
our
total
one
of
slip.
12 words, and one of them is.
Come on.
Not
it's
legally
okay.
obliged.
But,
We're going to use our one F word right now.
But there was like videos of dudes doing crazy stuff. Like a guy went to McDonald's on one. And so we started looking into if we could buy one. And then we were looking into like ultralight aircraft. And then I was like, dude, you know, there's people on YouTube who just make homemade aircraft. Like they just make it at their house. And we got into like this kind of YouTube search rabbit hole of homemade aircraft. And then we found a video called African homemade aircraft like compilation. And it's
That exists on the internet.
and it's these dudes.
I don't doubt it.
It's
the
these
most
dudes in Africa.
makeshift project ever, man. Like,
Yeah, these guys are
it's just
making airplanes
motorcycles
out of
with, like-
2x4s, and they're like, "We're gonna see if it flies," and it like none of the planes
And
from the
they do.
entire
It's like
video
Wilbur,
fly.
and, Wilbur and Orville, right?
African
their
Wilbur
time.
and
It's
Orville.
basically like the Wright brothers 2.0.
Yeah.
We
you
think
know?
we've got
It's
airplanes
just- and
and
it's like-
stuff, but they're still trial and erroring this
Yeah.
shit.
They're
it's
ahead of
all
their
like
time.
broadcasted on like African news stations. And whenever the
They're
plane's
like
like,
The
local
first
heroes.
flight.
the
He
planes
got
will,
5
like,
feet
go
off the
off,
ground.
like-
He has broken the local record, ladies and gentlemen.
That's
plane will, like-
honestly like, but if you, me just being my philosophical brain, that's crazy though. Like, we're just like, oh yeah, planes, like whatever, and they're like excited about that, like the slow progress of like getting 5 feet on the ground.
They'll get there eventually.
That's terrible, but that's crazy. Like that's how fucking
like,
every
start at a hill.
every foot they rise is another foot of happiness to them. They're just trying to
Gosh,
leave
I
the
wish,
ground.
I wish we were better at being like joyful for simple things. Like that's really, really sad.
It got
for
3
us
feet off the
personally.
ground.
Thank God, we should be happier about.
I think it just depends on your situation.
And
Exactly, but I mean, yeah.
like in this
like,
room, if I were to make, a homemade aircraft and it got 5 feet off the ground, I'd be freaking out.
Yeah, so would I.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But like,
I'd be freaking out if you started just building an airplane at all. Like,
that's what I'm saying though. Like,
I don't
it
care
depends
if
on the
it gets
situation.
0 inches off the ground. Like, that would be incredible.
So,
You know?
so Gage and I want to make one.
I think
Really?
we should. I think y'all should, and we should
We have to.
observe.
I think we should try to, even if it doesn't work. Man, wouldn't that be cool?
We should.
You're
we
like,
should
yeah, I'm
lift
just
off,
building an airplane.
off like
Yeah.
280.
What are you doing
Yeah.
with your time?
So and with the African video, something I noticed was the one scenario where they actually got off the ground is where they had built a ramp in like the bottom of this hill to try and help the
Intelligent.
plane get
Yeah.
off the
Yeah.
ground,
Yeah.
and it just kind of went over the ramp and went like
Straight
right into the
down.
ground.
So basically, exactly what you would expect to happen.
Do they have like a test pilot each time, or is it
Oh
the
yeah,
same
it
guy?
was the creator of the plane most
Yeah.
of the
Oh, okay.
time, and like they had interviews with them after, and they're like, we're just gonna keep researching, and we're gonna
Back
try
to
and
the
do it better
drawing
next
board.
time. Back to the drawing board.
That's so amazing. Like, honestly, I think that's so cool.
Yeah, you have to give them credit for that.
Yeah,
you know?
like,
But then you have to also see what kind of airplanes.
But they're
that
eventually,
doing.
I mean, I think someone eventually is going to be successful.
Like they're filming it and putting it on the internet. Don't they know to like?
that's the part where I'm like, how are they filming it and putting it on the internet if they can't even like,
Can they
can they
just
Google it?
figure out how
How
to
to
make a
build a
plane
plane.
online?
I'm sure you can literally find a compilation of people
well,
failing testing airplanes.
I mean,
that
you
they've
could look
built
up
at
how to
home
build a plane, but it doesn't mean
that you're gonna be able
yeah,
to
it
do
doesn't mean you have the resources
or the
to do
yeah.
it.
I was like,
yeah.
yeah, that's fair. That's valid.
Apparently, most people do. Like, there's a dude who built one out of like all stuff that you can buy at the Home Depot.
Oh yeah, let me go to the African Home Depot. Real quick.
Oh no,
Like, I know
no,
what
no.
you're saying, but
Oh, I'm not talking about that scenario. I'm just
Yeah.
talking about dudes over here in the Western world
in
who
the Western world,
just want to prove that they can build an airplane in their garage. Like,
while the Africans
So you
struggle.
basically.
yeah, that's gonna be me.
Like, that's gonna be you. You're gonna be that guy.
I'm thinking about getting like a chest airplane tattoo or something and just devoting my life to it.
I think you
like-
should do that.
I think you should
Screw
become
music.
the plane.
Hey, what are you talking about? You should. You're involved with this.
What
Yeah.
do you
We are
mean?
going to
Become
become
a plane.
airplanes.
Your partner. Y'all are the new Wright brothers.
I identify as an airplane.
dude.
That's a different topic. Moving on.
Yeah, actually, moving right along, I was on YouTube trending today looking for things that I could just confront you with that would be hilarious, and I think I found the
Again?
best topic. The video Obama endorses Biden for his
Oh
campaign.
jeez, dude.
It was top 3 trending on YouTube
Yeah.
today. So I guess that counts as like big news. Not that anybody thought that that wasn't going to happen, but
Right. Yeah, as soon as Bernie dropped, it was pretty obvious who everyone was going to endorse, willingly.
right. Well, and regardless of like political views, there's a lot of people that were really on that Bernie train.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of people that didn't want to see that happen. It surprised everyone, I think, when he dropped out that early. But
I saw a lot of Reddit posts about how like people like I guess had student loans or whatever and then gave it to Bernie expecting the student debt to go away. And now they're even further in debt, like whatever their situation was, like they didn't pay last month's rent or whatever. But it's like, you just got to be smarter about that, dude. Like, I get it. Like,
Yeah.
I respect it.
right.
Respect the initiative.
Well, also, it means a lot having the immediate former president endorse you. So, like,
Well, the immediate former president is, it's gonna
whatever
be Donald
whatever you want to think about,
That's
right?
all I'm
Like,
saying.
whenever you, we all know,
I know
what
you're saying,
happened,
though. Yeah.
and it's worth like at least looking at and saying, "Huh, damn."
Well, it's
And
funny
being
because
done with it. But
yeah. Well, there was like clips of Obama like dogging whoever the schmuck is, Joe Biden. I
oh,
forget his
Joe
name.
Biden.
Yeah.
It's like, well, of course he's going to endorse him also because Joe Biden was his
Vice
VP.
president. Yeah. Like,
So-
naturally.
I guess my thing is I don't understand why it's top 3 trending of everything right now. in the
Probably
past-
because there's probably a lot of discussions in the comments. You know what I mean?
is that what pumps a YouTube video now?
Sometimes I think.
Like a
Like-
lot of
like if-
activity in the comments?
Yeah, like if I were to see a video about, I don't know, like a boxing match or whatever between these two guys, it'd be like, go in the comment section, see what everybody's saying, like, oh, I
Right.
can't believe that guy won or whatever.
I guess I really haven't thought of that. So it kind of in a way, like the more polarizing you can get and the more like out there you can get,
It causes discussion in the comments. Yeah.
and that makes so much sense these days,
Wow, the world of the media just continues to blow my mind.
And the comments like also increase like how much people are going to be seeing the video. So like that's why like if there's like something crazy going on, like God forbid there's like a shooting or something,
Right.
a lot of people want to put in their 2 cents because they know it's going to cause discussion in the comments and views come to the video, so on and so forth.
So like,
That makes sense.
serious question, just because I'm not very well versed in like how the media works. So if someone were to make a video, like we were to post this,
Right.
and we were the only people to watch it, but we each went and commented on it like 100 times.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
What would happen? Does it have to be different people?
I think so. Yeah. It's
Okay.
like yeah.
Well, that's disappointing.
It's like user based. I think is like the varying users and how often or how if like the creator of the video responds to different comments and stuff like that. Like all that stuff kind of helps.
Oh, that like factors in.
Right.
It makes sense that would be such a complex beast to work with. Like,
Yeah.
just so many different little things
Yeah.
to get your video to the
Yeah, YouTube
forefront.
it's such an awful algorithm. Like it's just so bad. Like for a small creator, it's trash. It's garbage. I'm
Right.
sorry, but it is. Like,
Yeah.
it's just very difficult for someone who coming into the scene, like even on Twitch as well. Super difficult. And like that's the reason I think a lot of people have like strong feelings about like people who females specifically who like show their body, you know, during the stream
Those
or
whores.
whatever.
Twitch thoughts.
You said it, not me, but you know, like
but that's the mentality, right?
Yeah.
She said.
well, yeah, like I watch a lot of Twitch, so like I kind of like
Okay, I don't watch
on
as much Twitch, so like I don't know as much.
that's not like the exact mentality. The idea is that like Twitch should be there for like gaming, you know,
Right.
and like if you want to, if like you're streaming and you want to talk to your viewer base, you can do that. But the way that these specific, you know, females are kind of abusing the system is that they're just like it used to be. Probably, I want to say about a year ago, they added the IRL part where you can just sit there and talk to your viewer base. But before that, it was like you had to have a game and it had to be like X percentage. So the girls found out what percentage that was, and it was like maybe like 0.5%. They would have like a league like game on in the background.
Right.
It was like a YouTube video. They just had it on in the background, and they're like sitting there, you know, doing whatever they do. You know, I'm not gonna say, but
Jumping
Doing
jacks.
whatever
The gears
see,
are
now
turning now.
my little innocent brain is catching up with
yeah,
what
you
you're
picking up what I'm putting
Yeah,
down.
me too. I
Squats for
wasn't.
subs.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so they
Okay.
just kind of like, oh my gosh, that's crazy, you know, with their shirts kind of like very low cut and everything, you know, and so
Oh.
it just attracted a lot of like, you know, thirsty young fellas.
So
you
it's
know?
Some young
definitely,
bucks.
if I want to get famous, I should go to Twitch.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Joking.
Kristen's really letting
I'm
it all
not
out.
though.
Laying it all out, I guess.
Oh.
But
Yeah, but I mean, it's
Interesting.
just so that like that, all that stuff is kind of like why the algorithm on YouTube even and like I was telling you earlier, the Spider-Man and Elsa thing.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
that was just like why or how, you know, like who thought of that? Like who thought Spider-Man and Elsa?
yeah.
Wasn't it the
It was the two pranksters.
yeah, it was the two brothers.
Yeah, what were the names?
Bradbury, the Bradbury
Yeah.
boys. That's who it
Oh,
was.
man. That's awesome.
But yeah, like that. I mean, just the algorithm's just so screwed.
Yeah, man. Sometimes I come across like the strangest things on YouTube, and I'm like, how I was,
Like,
you know,
how did that end up in? What am
was
I
looking-
watching for that to end up in my suggestion?
I was looking
Yeah.
for news highlights or sports bloopers. Like, why am I getting a
It's like
video
shark-
about this
like
Asian
graphic
girl
shark
eating
attack.
an octopus?
Yeah.
I like fall asleep
Yeah.
watching YouTube and wake up and it's like baby poop injection butt and I'm like, what's happening? Why am I here?
No,
No,
see,
like it's
okay.
I mean, like, I
it's
get weird suggestions, but I
it's
think
the
that's
most
a little
vague like thumbnail. It's just like a needle and then a baby doll and it's like
Oh,
Don't get us
okay, I
demonetized
thought you
here,
meant,
Oh my
Gage.
god.
I meant you meant like a real.
I was just gonna.
I was
One
just
time
like,
I
But-
watched like Halo playthroughs and I fell asleep and I woke up to just like a squirrel. It was just like it's just home footage of a squirrel in someone's.
You're
front
like, wow,
yard.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Y'all ever seen the
I don't
Indian
remember
And
dude
it
to
has
make
like
the
12
houses?
billion. views.
Yes, Gage. I was about to say, like for the past week, if I like wake back up and YouTube's playing in the background, it's always dudes making huts in the middle of the woods with nothing but their hands and basic tools.
It's so interesting.
It's so interesting, and I'm glad I found it that way. But like, how did we get to that? How did that end up being what we're
Yeah,
watching?
the YouTube rabbit hole is always an interesting place to be.
Like if you stay on there long enough, like you're gonna you're gonna find the really just how did that end? How has YouTube not removed that? You
Yeah.
know?
I think they created the rabbit hole. I think it's something that's kind of just like,
But I
they
also
kind of
think,
put us on that wave and they took us through that path.
But I also think of like how like when YouTube first came around, I remember like the big creators then and like versus now where like everyone's a creator and that's
Dude,
all.
Y'all remember
anyone
Fred
wants to
Figglehorn?
do. Yes,
Unfortunately.
Fred.
Fred. Oh
Fred.
my gosh, yeah, he was like the baby voice guy,
Yep.
and he had like the swimming pool thing, and then he started living with someone, and they started like a vlog instead. But I'm like, Fred was like the shit, you know, like that was like
Millions
what
of
everyone
views back in the
watched.
day. Yeah.
Like it was like, why was that so popular? He didn't really do anything, and now you see like people
I'm pretty
do
sure
the
he's
dumbest
popular
things and go
because of like
viral.
the stuff that he'd have like stupid short videos of him just running around
Screaming,
which
yeah.
was prime entertainment back then.
I mean, can you imagine someone putting that on the internet now? I mean, I probably would still get millions of views.
The
but-
taste always change. It's like the whole iDubbbz and Leafy thing. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I
You
personally
can't-
miss the simpler times of Fred, but that's
Can we
your
just go
simple
back?
brain just can't comprehend the new content.
yeah, my simple woman brain can't handle it.
Wow.
Hitting you with the
I didn't
sexist
say
comment.
that.
No, I know.
Why did the only
It's my personal,
female
I'm sorry.
in this podcast be the one to say that?
Because I'm
She
probably
says
the most
all of these
sexist one
comments.
here.
She can say them though.
Well, yeah.
Like I can't. You
No.
know?
That's valid. I'll get away with it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout
No,
out that double X. Am I right?
Can we agree though that some of the best YouTube videos are the conspiracy theory videos?
Yep.
Without a doubt.
Shane Dawson conspiracy theories.
Nope.
I love Shane
No.
Dawson. I don't care what y'all think, but
Shane Dawson.
I've also been watching Shane Dawson since I was like a week old. So not exactly, but
Okay.
very young.
Rock
Very
on,
young.
bro.
just been hanging out
Back when-
around him, looking at him.
Yeah, but his old videos were weird. You want to talk about weird
Oh.
YouTube content? Shane
Original-
Dawson posted some creepy things.
Ooh.
Like really creepy. And now he's like the most like normal, like happiest little man ever. It's bizarre.
Like in front of the camera.
And then he has his conspiracy videos where he's like super serious, but
Like
In
what?
front of the
like
camera, yeah, you're
give
right.
me a conspiracy.
I don't.
I don't watch Shane
The
Dawson.
only
so
Shane
like,
Dawson video I watched was the Chuck E. Cheese reused pizza one.
Oh, that.
What is
that?
that?
Okay, that's
Like, I
no.
literally
That's
don't
legit.
watch.
That's
So-
legit.
So Chuck E.
That's
Cheese,
a thing.
they're
Reuses
lazy
their
pieces of.
pizza. They reuse
They're
their
lazy,
pizza.
so they'll like give out pizzas. If there's any left over, they go into the back, put it on the same pan, spread some cheese on there, run it through the oven, send it back out.
But the thing is, you can like
ran through the
tell.
oven.
You can tell
Yeah.
because like the like
They're
slices
not the
don't
same
line
size.
up. The pepperonis don't line up. And you're like, yeah, you just collected this from like 12
Well, I
different
bet it wasn't a
tables.
problem till they actually found out it happened.
Yeah.
I bet people were just like, it's going to 6-year-old kids.
Yeah.
Like,
God, yeah. But
if anything, I mean, building immunity?
Yeah, exactly. Like drinking water out of a water hose, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I personally would.
Survival of
Growing
the
up
fittest.
strong.
I personally would probably still eat Chuck E. Cheese pizza.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt in my mind.
Actually,
I would-
went
Chuck
there
E.
for
Cheese
like my
pizza is
Actually-
natural selection.
Going back to the first topic.
valid.
Going
but
back-
we all were raised on that, so I guess we're screwed.
You're
you
rich.
know?
All right. Going back to the first topic. Joe Exotic and his park opened a pizzeria,
Oh yes.
and they used meat from their Walmart deliveries of expired meats that they were using to feed the cats. They
That's
were
interesting.
making that onto their pizzas to keep their
You're
food
like, wow,
costs
that's really
low.
smart.
That's actually really interesting. So did people get sick or like?
No,
'cause
they
I'm
just
asking-
discovered it.
I'm
Like
just-
nobody would have asked
Wow.
anything different otherwise.
Yeah.
But because they had filmed everything, they knew
Yeah.
that it was happening.
Well, like I mean, like how expired? Because like
it was
you-
like a day or two.
yeah, like that's not bad.
Or it was
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
that had been
You-
removed
well, I
from the
mean,
shelves
yeah.
and put back.
Yeah.
Or people like couldn't buy it at
no,
the
it's not like
counter.
it's not like months expired. Like when you say expired, like most people think like, oh my gosh, there's like mold
It's
growing.
rotting.
Yeah,
It
Right.
smells bad.
exactly. Yeah, but like 1 day, 2 days,
You're not
chilling.
gonna know.
You know what I mean? And that's
I mean,
like
it's getting
unrefrigerated.
cooked.
Yeah. So
And honestly, I mean, I would take that sacrifice for the sake of pizza.
I mean, yeah, it's cheaper.
That's
You
valid.
know, it's cheaper.
And if you're that worried about, it, just pick it off. You know?
Not only
Exactly.
that,
off the meat.
but you got to eat pizza right next to the tiger's cage. The cage like bordered the like dining area.
That's awesome.
Like, I would go there and eat pizza,
Isn't it still open? Not the pizzeria.
even knowing that the meat was a day
The
or two
zoo?
expired.
Yeah.
I'd do it.
Pretty sure they moved it.
Yeah. No, well,
I don't think it's still there today.
I was like, I don't think
be
it would
doubtful.
still be. Considering how the show ends, I don't think.
Oh, yeah, Joe's in prison.
I mean, he's in prison. Like,
didn't they move it down by the WinStar Casino?
well, that's
in
what.
Oklahoma?
But that building, I don't think that ever got finished.
Yeah, they got pissed and never
because
finished that one. So
Jeff
apparently,
wasn't paying.
Jeff is still at the same zoo that Joe ran. The plans for the bigger one like fell through because
Jeff is
whatever.
responsible for everything on that show.
That dude wearing the
bad
Oakley
thing.
hat with the little single ponytail,
And
just
his
asshole looking dude.
in his open relationship with his like 22-year-old pregnant wife or whatever.
Well, enough on that. I think we've killed that
Anyways.
topic. But conspiracy theory videos, though.
I love
Do you have a
conspiracy
favorite one, though?
Conspiracy theories?
Yeah, like a conspiracy theory video maybe that you've seen that you were like, oh, that was a good watch there.
Woke.
Woke.
I like conspiracy theory. Like usually conspiracy theory videos go one of two ways with me. Either I'm like, absolutely, I want to do more research, or that was the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. You know?
yeah, I think that's true for like everyone watching them.
Well, I'm just saying, like some people like they look at every single
and they
conspiracy
believe
video.
every single one.
Yeah, and they're just like, that's crazy. Can't believe that would happen.
Y'all hear the Sandy
100%
Hook one?
They
happen.
just believe it. They're
Yeah.
like, that's actual fact.
And they
because
don't-
this person made this video, that has to be fact.
Right, but they don't do like any more research. Like they just
Yeah.
take it at face value.
Right.
Like that is stuff like I
Those
don't
are
take
my
it at face
favorite
value.
kind
Have y'all
of
seen the
people.
Sandy Hook one, where they think they faked Sandy Hook?
Yeah, Alex Jones talked about that.
False
Yeah.
flag operation. I actually saw Alex Jones. I actually stumbled upon Alex Jones in Houston.
Was he in his APC?
And was he in what?
An APC? His armored personnel carrier?
Oh, no. He was just walking around.
Oh, okay.
That's a
was
general
walking
term.
around
Everyone
with
should
his,
know what APC means.
Oh,
Like,
okay,
already.
sorry.
Oh my god. I'm joking. I'm making
bad.
fun of Dillon, not you.
I'm sorry. I have no intentions of like robbing a bank or anything soon.
Have
I didn't know you
seen
did.
him in the APC?
Oh, no, I haven't
Oh,
actually.
yeah. I thought he posted a video on Instagram of him in an APC with a megaphone, just like yelling at people.
Oh, yeah.
To
money.
clarify, it's the APC, right?
The APC, yes, an
the
armored
APC.
personnel carrier or vehicle.
So
whatever.
it's an APC.
How many times can we say that in the next
Whatever.
Don't acknowledge it. We
the,
can say it.
APC?
the remainder of this
I was just
podcast?
trying to say something funny, but okay.
No.
It was
Well-
very funny.
Yeah, I could tell.
The,
Like,
the conspiracy theories kind of brings us into the next topic. How do you feel about the flat Earth theory?
It's true.
like genuinely or like as a bit? Like as a joke.
Let's get both.
Just, no, just
let's
just
get
roll
genuinely
with one of
first.
them and let's find out which one it is. Like, wait, we'll have to guess.
Yeah, I'll try and guess if you're being serious or not.
Okay. Well, like let me throw this scenario at you. When you're on top of a mountain,
Right.
you can't see the Earth curve. You see it just stops because you're like your render distance is too low. You know.
Oh yeah, like Minecraft, you can't
Exactly.
see that far.
Like
right.
the clouds eventually kind of like fog up, and you eventually can't
You
see.
just can't
Get a better
see
PC, idiot.
Yeah, exactly.
You're right.
Running a bad CPU, but yeah. So that was my opinion on it.
That was the bit.
That's my.
that was the
that's
bit.
My
That was the
opinion on
bit.
it.
I don't get it. Like I have a friend who like genuinely believes in it, and he like talks about how there's like
Wait,
layers
you
to it.
know a flat Earth guy.
Yeah, no,
Flat gang.
he believes a lot of like
Flat gang.
really
Flat gang.
interesting conspiracies that I think are like
Flat gang.
awesome to like listen to, you know. But like I'm not like 100% into it. I'm just like that's crazy, bro. But he talks about how there's like layers, like you know, like Antarctica is one of the layers we have to break, you know, because Antarctica and I guess the North Pole are like a mountain
Ice
range.
walls.
Yeah, that we
Yeah.
can't pass. They're impassable mountain ranges,
Which that doesn't seem about right
doesn't
at all.
quite make sense to me.
Since there's
but I
been people.
yeah, well, I like to support them. I like to let them believe. You know,
I mean, we've had
You're
airplanes
like
for a little
you're
while.
Like, it's enjoyable conversation, so
It is.
I let him continue to believe that the Earth is flat.
yeah, for me, it's enjoyable.
Valid.
I mean, we've had airplanes for a minute.
Right. Well, there was that one guy just recently. He made his own rocket. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? The flat earther. He made his own rocket,
I don't know.
and he was going to go to space. And this is actually really sad. They have a video of it on YouTube. He
Of course they do.
He shoots a rocket off, and it was like a bunch of his supporters, and they took a video. He shoots the rocket off, and then like probably I want to say
Wait. He's inside of it?
He's inside of it.
Oh my
he's in-
god.
He's done it
wow.
apparently like 3 or 4 times. And he
Isn't
was
there
like,
like a movie about a person who made their own rocket?
The
And, like,
astronaut farmer? Yes.
Yeah, that one.
well, this guy was like 400 yards in the air, and he like the parachute was supposed to deploy, but it got like fell off during launch. So he's like 400 yards in the air and just came straight down and blew up and died.
That's so. Oh my god.
But his goal was to
Rest
go
in
to
peace.
space to prove that the Earth was flat.
because
his
the
goal.
government controls the space program,
Because
so
space
they
is a
could be
hologram.
lying.
Space is a hologram.
Space is a hologram.
That's the theory? Is
You
that
never
like a
heard that?
common held theory by them?
Yeah, space is a
Really?
hologram. Yeah,
Wow.
See, I find that like
Then what do
we're
they think is
unpacking
out
layers here, and I
Nothing.
think that.
Nothing.
nothing. We're just a flat disc.
But
Some
what,
of
but
them
what
think
are
that
we
there
a
is
flat?
space.
What are we a flat disc in?
Like I said, some of them think that there is space. but,
Man,
like,
that's a good
So
question.
do you think there's
What
like
are we a flat
overlap in
disc
like the simulation people and the flat earthers?
Well, the simulation theory is interesting because technically, like that is a thing. Like realistically, we could create a simulation
Yeah.
for the computer, and that is like a real like Sims.
yeah,
Sims
I love
is a s-
Sims. I'm a big
I'm
simmer.
a big simmer.
We could be Sims right now making a podcast.
Exactly. Like that's
Guys,
I'm
you're
being
making my brain
No, I
hurt.
know. No, I
Sounds
know.
like-
No, well, the crazy thing is like we could never know.
right.
You know, like we would never know.
Yeah.
Like, what if we're like our Sims genuinely believe they're conscious? We can't know that.
Yeah. Exactly.
And we're just controlling everything they do.
It's so sad to think, isn't it? That's why I
See,
always
and
try to
I
make
love
my
what.
Sims have
But do
good
you
That means
think
we have
like
no
if you were to like
consequences.
introduce your like Sim 2 like creations to your like Sim 4 creations, they'd be like, wow, like this, we're definitely a simulation because your quality is just absolute garbage. Like I feel like there would have to be a
See,
point where you'd be aware.
people who can't see well, like Gage, or how they get the they take the
Our
pressure off the
simulation
CPU
is like
because he can't see as well as the rest
I'm
of
basically
us.
blind without these.
Really?
I can't.
I thought those were just like aesthetic.
No
It's just like
render
shapes of color, man.
distance.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
Maybe you're just an older model.
Yeah.
It is. He's a Sims 2 character.
He's a Sim. Exactly. We're all Sims 4. We're all like advanced, you
Right.
know, with the
I'm the lesser of the beings.
really
You're
see
Sims
we're the
2
more
character.
intricately made, you know, Sims, and
People who are like
then there's you.
not as smart
I just got a
as everyone
required
else. They're
accessory.
Sims 2 characters.
Maybe Sims 1, like the flat earthers.
I think it's really interesting to talk about. I'm fine with talking with my Sims 1 boys. Totally cool with that.
Oh, me too. No, I think
They're like broken English.
yeah, I
we're
love
all
them.
just actually talking in Simlish, but we just
Gage, please attempt that again.
Oh my god.
just talk the rest of the
Don't
podcast.
don't they speak like some like Asian Islander language? Don't you know what I'm talking about? Sims? No, they speak like a genuine language.
Wait, they speak an actual
it was-
language.
I'm about 90% sure. My sister was a huge Sims fan.
Wow.
Yeah, no, like
They speak like a
there
genuine
are like
language.
translations of what they say, and it ends up not actually being like real sentences.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, like I'm pretty sure some of the words are.
It's just a bunch of racial slurs.
Oh my gosh.
All right, moving on.
Biggest Sims expose. They were really just getting
Sims
us the whole
exposed.
time.
It's like this huge.
Sims
it's like if you do this
canceled.
huge thing like Sims exposed. There's only like 5 people in the
I
world who
doubt it.
speak
See?
Simlish. and it's
Another
like,
conspiracy theory.
there's
Well, like that
Maybe
could-
this is
can
how
you
some of them
imagine?
start.
But I mean, if you think about it, the people who created Sims have to have some basis of understanding of what they're saying, right? Like they made
yeah.
the language.
Well, yeah.
If it's not a real language that it's based off of, they had to have made it. So
Like Dothraki.
yeah. What? Yeah,
Like
yeah.
Game of
Like
Thrones.
speaking
Game of
jive.
Thrones, like that's someone created that language,
Yeah.
and
Or literally
Klingon?
any- Yeah. Lord of the Rings. The
yeah,
It's like
Elven.
yeah.
Yeah.
it's like what
and
Boom
you can literally learn the language. Like I mean, in the
Elvish.
office when Dwight is learning.
can't talk over each other. Guys, we can't talk over each other
sorry.
whatsoever. Or else, like, when you listen to it after, it's going to be just like, blah, 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 like 4 people at the same time.
I can't wait for that part of this video. That's
The whole video.
I'll have to do some work, but it'll be, fine. This
Good night,
is
mate.
gonna turn out great, hopefully.
TM.
Probably. I mean, trial and error. Yeah.
Yo, Dylan, do you think we went to the moon?
I talked to my mom about it because I think it's kind of funny, but she brought up a really good point. How did they call the president from the moon?
Well, I mean, First off,
No.
do you think we went?
I do think so, personally.
But do you at least think that there's reasonable doubt? Like, there's enough to where it's possible we couldn't have.
It's possible. It's very plausible.
That's kind of like where I'm at.
Yeah.
Open-minded. I appreciate it.
Yeah, but the fact that there's so much evidence, or there's, I guess, a lot of things that happen together. Like, we were talking earlier about the possibility of Stanley Kubrick helping them do all of it because he made 2001 A Space Odyssey before we'd ever gone to space.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So we had no footage from space. And I mean, even then, that was 1960s and 70s. Like, we didn't have high quality footage from space for sure. It's kind of interesting how he made that look so film ready.
Interesting.
Doesn't it? I mean, it looks like it could have been possible.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, how do you call the president from the moon?
Yeah, in a time where all we have is landlines.
Space phone.
Exactly.
Duh.
Obviously.
Come on.
Well, also, did you hear they said that the craft that they would land on the moon had, I think, it had less memory than like a Game Boy.
Yeah. It had like the same computing power as like a handheld calculator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was only able to like essentially store a couple pages of like telemetry data and stuff
Exactly.
to get them there.
I'm smarter than it then.
Yeah.
Pretty proud of that.
Yeah. You were smarter than
Yeah, well,
NASA
like,
computer at one point.
We might as well have flown a giant
College
garbage can up
educated.
there
True.
with thrusters.
May
at
as
that
well have
point.
been that dude, that flat earther.
Yeah. Flat gang.
Flat gang.
You
Black
might
gang.
as well be the people in Africa making these planes. To the point.
Honestly,
This is all connected.
it makes the people in Africa making planes not look that far off.
African spaceship.
Watch them.
That's the next one.
Yeah, that's what's gonna happen.
Pretty sure that was the flat earther.
I think
There it is.
I, th-
Already happened.
I think Elon Musk is already on that wave.
True.
Oh.
True.
But like,
That's
I don't
another
know.
thing, like the gravity thing. Sorry, I didn't mean to like totally throw it off, but the gravity thing is like another like reason that flat earthers believe the Earth is flat.
really, like,
Because yeah, like something about like how you just naturally fall back to Earth. If the Earth was a circle, a sphere, excuse me, then we wouldn't be able to do that. Yeah, exactly.
Because it's big.
Wait, that doesn't make any sense.
Exactly.
No, it does. So the Earth is flat. Like you're on flat ground.
Yes.
You drop something, it comes right back down.
Right.
If you're on a sphere and you drop something, it's gonna roll off.
But that's not the idea of gravity. Doesn't work that way.
I'm just telling you how it is.
Gravity for the
It's the
Earth is
center
pulled
of the
towards the
Earth.
Earth's center, not.
No, you're wrong. See, the Earth is flat. The ground is flat.
You see,
You're wrong again.
you're like, no, the Earth is flat.
You're wrong. The ground is flat.
flat gang.
Flat gang.
Interesting.
It's
Interesting idea there, Dylan.
I just like playing the
flat.
devil's advocate. So.
Flat game.
Yes. No, I mean, yeah, no, that's just
Like I trust me. I know what you're saying. I get it.
You're like, no, what you're saying makes sense.
Yeah.
However,
comma, the ground is flat. So drop cool.
no
need to
matter
keep-
what you say will not convince me that the Earth.
We
is
need to
not
keep
flat.
talking about this because clearly we've shifted back to the flat Earth. There's some things that have been unsaid. Is there
are.
stuff you haven't really revealed?
I just
Got some pent
Do you
up
actually?
You're a
Somewhere
flat
inside,
earther.
you're like, maybe the Earth is flat.
somewhere inside me. Have you ever heard like all the Illuminati stuff?
Oh,
like
I've
surely
heard
you've
lots
heard
of
like,
stuff.
haha, Illuminati controls everything.
Right.
But like when you look into it, it is insane.
Yeah.
Dude, have you heard the conspiracies about the Denver airport
Yes, I have.
and how it was created by the New World Airport Commission,
Yes.
which doesn't exist?
yeah,
You can't. That's not a thing,
It-
but it's
like-
written on their dedication.
and they had the Freemason sign on it.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then there's
All the,
like
scary statues in the airport.
oh yeah, and the murals,
Oh.
and then apparently how there's tons of huge empty chambers open underneath the airport with a complex like valve system going
That's
to them.
terrifying.
Yeah, because there was like a mall or something there before, and they just built over it.
Really?
Yeah, and then
Oh.
like the like they have like the horse, the really mean looking horse
With the red
Yeah.
eyes.
Yeah, and like didn't the sculptor like die like halfway or like he was putting on the head or something and just
That would not surprise me with
Yeah.
all the
Thought it-
weird stuff there.
I thought it was like something like it fell and crushed him.
yeah, like,
Yeah.
something like that. I don't know, the whole body or the head or something just like that. It's kind of crazy.
I don't want to fly there.
The whole thing is just like
I
insane.
do.
No, but there's people that have
These stories make me want to fly there.
there's people that have conspiracies that is where like the Illuminati is going to convene in whatever, like the end of the world.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
So
They
right
think-
now, basically.
They know
Just
when the end of
some.
the world is.
Just some.
We don't.
You guys know what the back rooms are?
The what?
Back rooms.
No.
Elaborate, please.
Fill us in.
Very vacant places. Like, think of an office with bad, like, yellow lighting, shitty office carpet, vacant. Sort of scary, per se.
So like a classic horror movie setting,
More like
but a little more realistic.
empty mall or like
I love abandoned
I don't know.
places.
Yeah, it's just like abandoned places, but not uneasy. It makes me uneasy.
I'm thinking we should
Like
actually
the dimly lit hallway.
make a video.
don't know.
I'm trying to. It's impossible to explain.
Yeah, look. At
Thanks for
something
cutting me
us.
off to then not say anything. No, I'm kidding. But we should go to an abandoned place.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We should make a video where we go to an abandoned place. Luke and I have actually investigated some abandoned places together.
Let's go somewhere.
Let's go to the one where I saw the little girl scream.
Oh,
Let's go there.
that brings us into ghosts. I'm happy now.
Yeah, I have a couple ghost stories myself, and I'm not a believer of ghosts. I don't believe in their existence.
So that's how you know.
Right.
So that's how you know that I saw something
Right.
paranormal, and
But
I can't
you believe
and
in
I
it.
can't explain it. But
just
I
like
believe
vacant
what I saw
offices.
because
It's
well,
scary.
so one of the situations I was in, I was with another person, and they also saw and heard the same thing as me, like exact same. Because we both were like, "What just happened?" And then the other time I was by myself, and I think I might have been a little paranoid already because I was like in 7th grade, and it was like 6 a.m. and it's still dark outside, and I showed pigs, so I had to go feed the pig and my horse. So
Blanco.
yeehaw, am I right? But I was walking out to our old barn, like my great grandfather or great grandfather built it. Like his handwriting is on the walls. It's super cool. But I saw like a figure walk across the main entrance, like very slowly, very clearly. It wasn't like a quick flash of light. Like it was very clearly like slow moving, like walking in the pathway. And I literally started screaming. And the crazy thing was the power had gone out. This is, I don't know if you weren't here yet, but the power was out at school, and we still went to school.
Classic.
Yeah, it was weird. It was a weird day. It was
That
a really
sounds
creepy day.
about
But this
right.
is before all of that, right? It was a strange experience. But the house I'm talking about that we should go to, it's off Middle Creek. And we saw like someone had written from the inside something on the window, and like the curtain was pulled back, and then as we were leaving, like we heard a little girl like laughing or screaming. I don't remember which because I've tried to block it from my memory. And then we both were like, what? And turned around, and we both saw the curtain shut. And that house, like no one's lived in it for like a very, very long time. And then
Right.
her dad was like on a contract to go work on the house. And we never went in it, but he went in, and there was a little girl's room, which we were just like, and that was before we knew that. Like was when we heard.
I think when it's a little girl, it just kind of makes it that
Right?
much more creepy.
I feel like that's like that sounds like so generic, but I'd like swear to God, I feel like little girls are the creepiest.
Gage, it looks like there's something
creatures.
on your mind. What's up?
I could totally roundhouse a little girl.
Okay, but if she's like,
What you're saying is we have to
Undead.
do it.
we
we gotta go.
let's roundhouse
All right.
some ghosts.
I
mean-
mean, we go to a haunted location. Let's go to one and let's do like a documentary about it. Let's do a
And that-
Blair Witch style thing.
See, here's the thing. That's another sketchy part. It was in the middle of the day when that happened.
Yeah.
Which I feel like, creepy things always happen in the dark at night, like when we're at 12 a.m. on a freaking lake in a sketchy boat. But no, this was middle of the day, like paranormal experience, which I think is pretty even more scary for me personally. Now I'm scared in the broad daylight as well as the dark. So
Do you have
love
any
that for
good?
myself.
Do you have any good ghost stories or encounters, Dillon? Ever?
Yeah. There's a ghost that lives in my house, but I don't like.
No way.
What's his name?
It's her. She's
What's
the
her
woman
name?
That lived there. Last name Jester. I don't know her first name.
Shelby.
No, it was her grandma. It was her grandma that died in that house. Yeah. So it's just
crazy.
weird. Just weird
Well,
stuff that happens like
Well,
lights get turned off. One time the deadbolt locked. I was
Yeah.
the only one home. Walked outside, whatever, fed the cat, came back in, but the deadbolt was locked. Like, how does that happen? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
you
that
gotta-
is pretty weird.
Yeah, like kind of
Yeah.
small occurrences and
Yeah,
things
it's
that just
just
throw
freaky
you
stuff.
off.
Yeah,
My
like she's
dad,
not
yeah.
evil. She's not like,
No, she's mischievous, I would
yeah,
say.
she's just like, haha, I'm messing with you because I know this is gonna freak you out.
Yeah.
Idiot.
But like every time like something like that happens, I'm like, I bet you wouldn't though. Like, I bet you wouldn't like show your face because I'd knock you out.
Well,
Like I always talk big game. Like,
Do
oh
so
my
much.
well, here's a genuine question. Do you think? Okay, first of all, do you actually believe in like the existence of like ghosts and stuff? Like truly?
I have mixed feelings about it. Like actually,
Yeah. So do you see? For me, I'm like, if there were to be such a, I don't think you could like. There would ever be a moment where you actually see their face. Like the whole Bloody Mary crap, seeing her in the mirror. Like that's not.
right?
Oh no,
What
don't
I
talk
think.
down on that. She's gonna come get you.
Well, but I mean, like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like you're
charming.
more, and I mean, I don't know. I feel like there's never just a moment where they reveal themselves.
Right.
You know, so that's where I would draw. That's where I would personally draw. Now I'm gonna get like I'm gonna wake up in the middle of the night. The little girl's gonna be right there. But I genuinely I don't know if there's ever gonna be a point where you're like a paranormal experience manifests into like a physical, like the orbs and stuff. You know, you see that, but. I have another ghost story actually, but we'll get into that later. I have pictures with that one. So
Pictures.
talking about orbs of light that show up in camera flashing. So this is
just
this one's actually
glare?
really freaky. So
Like
we were at an abandoned school in Bryan. No, like literally this is.
So like just a light glare from the flash of the phone.
But listen, no.
Who
Listen to this
knows?
specifically. Listen. So we were at this abandoned school in Bryan, and we were like taking pictures, and we took this girl took this one picture, and everyone was like facing the school except for Jordan, and she was the one facing the camera, kind of just standing there, and there's a literally in light like a J and an E, and her initials are JE. And then there's an orb pointing towards her head. That doesn't just happen with a flash, you know.
How do orbs point?
That's one I yeah. I mean, it's just a line.
What do you
that's
mean
like-
by points
I'm
it
gonna
though?
okay. It's like a line. It's a
like
line.
It's a ball of light with like a finger pointing.
It
Right
actually it
here.
was a person
Hey,
that
look at this guy.
manifested. I was wrong. No, it's like it's not like a circular orb. It was more like a string of light that got thicker towards her. Does that make sense? I'll find the
Thick.
picture. She thick. No, I'll find the picture if I can.
thick. Yeah. Dummy thick. Yeah. I don't know. Ghosts are just interesting, I think.
Yeah, I think they're more of just a fun talking point.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I kind of don't want them to be real.
Right. Well, that's how I feel. Like as a Christian, I mean, obviously, I believe in like demons, and that's not something you necessarily want to be real. But I fully believe in that,
Right.
It'd be really.
and I still
unfortunate.
believe in possessions and
Really?
I don't know.
oh, absolutely. I don't think so for like my personal beliefs, like based on the Bible, I don't think I would be possessed. But
So what is like perfect possession body criteria?
Probably me.
vacant of Christ.
Really?
Oh no,
I
not
would
me.
say. I would say. Because I personally believe in like the Bible, we're protected from that if you're a believer, if that makes sense. But I mean, I could also be wrong, I think. But I mean, I don't know, because I haven't seen a possessed person as far as I'm aware.
Right.
But I also don't think possession always looks the way it does in the
Like
movies.
on the movies, yeah, where
right.
it's like very extreme.
Yeah.
What you guys think about Amish people?
Just in
Dude.
general, or like something specific about Amish people?
No.
Like,
Amish people
We can dive deep into this.
are they make some good stuff. They make good food and good furniture. And
Whipping that horse-drawn carriage, man.
hey, man, live the life you want. You know, they do have some problems with do they have problems with polygamy, right? Or is that not Amish people? I don't want to misrepresent the Amish community,
I don't know.
but
I think Dwight Schrute is the greatest Amish person of all time.
He's not Amish.
Yeah, he is.
No, he's not.
they have lots of Amish traditions.
He works
But-
in an office with a computer.
Yeah, I'm like, he's not. He himself
That's
is not.
like that's like
But
their
his
worst
family-
nightmare.
But his family.
I mean, I could believe it. Yeah, because Mose seems very Amish.
Yeah.
Well, see that. Yeah,
Yes.
I would.
The
I
man
don't-
works on, or he lives on a beet farm.
Yeah,
He has
he's
very
just a good
Amish
farmer.
roots.
Just because he works on a beet farm does not make him Amish.
Well, I mean, when you work on a beet farm that's like stuck in the 1800s with your kind of odd
Family.
helper, is Mose related to him?
Moses' his cousin.
Oh, Moses' his
yeah.
cousin.
Yes.
Even better.
Yeah.
Like,
And see, my favorite is when he reads like he talks about his family traditions, and he like breaks out the one about the what is it he is like reading the book to the kids, and it's like the really creepy. It's like the little man who like cuts off the thumbs of children, you know? Yeah, yeah.
oh,
So
that's like the kind of stories they're reading to the kids in Russia.
Yeah, no, yeah. They're German tall tales.
yeah,
Ah.
Yeah, a lot of his heritage is German.
Mm.
He talks about how his
Office lore is
I think-
crazy, man.
yeah. I think he talks about how his grandpa was like a guard for a certain German fascist movement.
Oh.
Yeah,
Ah.
you're right.
yeah.
He does.
That makes a lot of sense to some things.
We all know what you mean. We all have a certain level of historical education.
Shout out for keeping us on YouTube's good side.
Yeah, no problem. I do what I can.
A certain fascist movement. Way to go. Good wording.
Yeah, thank you.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Oh, here it is. I found the picture. So that's Jordan. Okay. There's the orb.
She's showing a fake
There are the
photo.
initials.
It's photoshopped.
Huh.
That's
Look at his
insane,
fake
right?
reaction. He's like, "Whoa, that's
Okay.
crazy." He said, "Wow, that's wild."
Oh my
That's Jordan,
god.
the only one facing.
What-
Whoa,
That's
What the
J.
shit is
That's
that?
the
Is
E.
blown
That's the
right
orb.
now.
That's the line.
That's crazy. Whoa, yeah, sure thing.
Show me the E.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm getting kind of nervous.
It's a
What
perfect J and a
the-
perfect E.
What is that?
Show it to the camera.
You have to show it to the camera.
Okay. There she is.
Yeah,
There's it pointing.
it's a bug.
There's
Yo,
the orb.
that's kinda
There's the
creepy.
J.
Yeah.
Such a weird.
It is
bug.
there.
What's wrong with the
Now
bug?
we need to go there and see what's
Pretty
happening.
distinct J and E,
Let's
right?
let's stay a night there.
Let's stay a
So
night
that,
there.
That lightning bug
Okay.
is kind of crazy.
So, here she is.
Nobody can even hear.
There's the orb.
I don't think.
Hey,
the phone-
Kristen, I don't think anybody can
Yeah, you
actually
need the microphone.
hear
She's not
what
even-
you're saying.
I don't-
Jane,
You need a microphone.
She showed you, I guess.
Now you see what I was
Well,
talking
y'all
about.
got to see it, and that's what matters.
Right. You got to
Right.
see the very distinct J and E. Right. That's a little. It's a little
Oh,
sketch.
been a lightning bug. Real lag
Really?
on your photo.
Is it
Yeah.
really
A
just
lightning bug that spelled out J and E.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's pretty weird,
Okay.
in my
Well-
personal opinion.
Right.
From my other paranormal experiences, I mean,
Right.
as a person who still does not believe in
I just want a ghost to pick me up and drop
Ghost.
me down. That's all I want to happen. Like just to get pulled. Yes. Yes.
correct.
Yes.
Talking to your mic, Gage.
Indeed. I would like a ghost to just pick me up like 2 feet and drop me. Just to show that they're there. Like that'd be cool. Just like, oh, I'm floating now.
You're like, prove it.
So you're
Yeah,
like a
prove it,
seeing
dude.
is believing,
You're like-
materialized kind of guy.
Do something, idiot.
Yeah, very.
You're one
much.
of
So then,
them.
so then are you religious? A little bit.
Man,
So explain that to me. If you're like a materialistic, you need to see something. I'm not like trying to like
No,
flame
like,
or anything.
It's a term of endearment.
no, like that's what, exactly like you're reading into exactly what's there.
okay.
Yeah.
So
That
then
makes sense.
So,
that didn't answer my question though.
so are you religious in the sense that you like believe there could be something, or are
Yeah.
you- okay, so it's not like a.
Like I believe in God, just like
How?
how
How?
it is. Like
It's a-
the
Dylan's
can't-
hitting
you
the
can't see him.
hard notes
You
here.
can't talk him.
like I have faith.
But,
I'm
okay,
not
but
just
how?
like I
He's-
don't know.
Yeah, I guess because.
But that's kind of the point of faith too, isn't it? Right? You don't
Yeah.
necessarily have to understand everything.
Okay.
But you have it.
Okay.
Well, we all have faith in something.
That's true.
And I mean, even people who like, I mean, I'm not, again, not trying to like do a flame thing or whatever, but
This
like
got deep.
it's where like if you if you're a believer in something like the Big Bang Theory, you know, that's still a theory. We didn't observe that happening.
Right.
So there's a faith there, and just like there would be a faith in creationism, you know, which is something my dad likes to. My dad's a big I don't know, he has like a lot of answers for those kinds of things, not like answers in that way, but to debate people, I guess. So that's one of the biggest things is like we all have a certain level of a faith system, unless you just literally are like, I don't care. I don't like, you know what I mean though? Like
Yeah.
if you have an idea of how something began that you can't observe, you have a faith system, no matter what it is. Not to, I mean, like, I'm not going to be like shoving, you know, religion down anyone's throat or,
Right.
but
No,
I think that's interesting how we as humans are like just made to have faith in something, you know?
No,
But
absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know if we're made to have faith. I think we kind of evolved into that to give us a reason to like deal with stuff that goes on in our lives, you know? Like,
So wait, somebody's got to ask you.
Okay.
How religious are you?
you know, that's a good question. You know, I'm like, I don't know. I'm kind of all over the place, man. You know, like there are some times where I'm like, I'm about what was being put down. And then there are other times I'm like, well, you know, that's a good question.
yeah, that's,
Right.
yeah, that's fair. Like the open-mindedness kind
Yeah.
of, yeah, which I would see that. Well, because I know like whenever I've talked to some of my friends who just are like straight, not the kind who are like open to the idea. But there are certain things when you ask certain questions that people are like, oh, I've never thought about that.
Yeah.
You know, like certain concepts that we rely on so heavily to like explain other things, but we can't explain the concept. You know, like for like example, the concept of infinity.
Okay, yeah.
How did we ever come up with that?
Right.
We can't observe it.
We can't fathom that. Yeah.
You have to
Exactly. So
understand
how-
time first to
Right.
even like kind of get.
But that's the thing is something that's infinite is outside of time. So like how do you ever like, and not only that, but we use it in math, which is something we use to explain things that occur in the world, right?
Right.
We use it in science, and it's just like a concept. Like, how did anyone come up with something so crazy like that when you literally you can never see something not have a beginning and not have an end? Even as human beings, like we have a beginning and an end.
Right.
So like, how did we come up with something like that?
Yeah.
I mean, for me, as like my answer to that is like gonna be based in my faith, but like, you know what I
Right.
mean? Those are the kind of questions where I'm like, oh my god, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're mind blowing.
Good questions.
Those are one of the non-explainable things to me,
Stuff that's really deep.
and I've never had someone answer
Yeah.
the question.
But also, well, no, if we had an answer, then what would be the point?
Exactly.
Right.
That's my
it's
point.
a part of kind of not knowing, and I feel like it kind of is a part of whether or not you have faith or
Right.
don't have faith.
But my
Right.
favorite thing is to watch people try, because it's like, you know, I'm like, so at some point your argument's gonna cave in on itself, no matter.
Well, either it will
no
or it
matter who.
won't,
Yeah.
but-
Well, I mean like to explain something like
Either there's
infinity.
something or there's nothing.
Exactly.
Yeah, but or even just in anything. Like, I'm sure you've watched like the guy who does the like change my mind videos.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, like his
Steven
like,
Crowder.
yeah, it's very interesting watching like whether you agree with him or not, people who come in with like very emotional.
All right, so the video stopped. Apologize about that, but we're going to be back. I'm going to be back on the next podcast. Stay tuned.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Thank y'all.
Goodbye. Goodbye.